I regret this morning a second time. I regret earlier the afternoon. I regret before noon.
So back in the summer, my band played our first show of 2023. With it being the first show of the year, obviously there was a lot of pressure riding on it for it needing to be a good one. On top of that, the event itself was an event that we'd headlined previously. So I felt like we had a bit of a reputation to keep up. We needed to deliver at a certain level, measure up to the standard we'd set for ourselves the previous year. This was a private event that was put on by a member of another local band who for like over 10 years, he's been putting on this like progressive rock showcase for his birthday, basically like a backyard party type of situation. So obviously it's a cool event. It's a lot of fun. I'm there with a lot of people who are into our very niche music style. And I'm there with a lot of people who are also musicians who play at a very high level, like very high caliber musicians are going to be sitting there watching us play. So I'm feeling a tremendous amount of pressure to make sure that this event goes great. And lo and behold, it did not go great. At least not as far as I saw it in the moment. We had a bunch of mishaps. Our setup took like 26 minutes, which is crazy. During our setup, we found out that pieces that we needed to plug certain things in or adapters for headphones for monitoring were missing, and an extension cable that was really, really crucial was also missing. I didn't get time to tune my guitar properly because I was essentially trying to put out fires of like, wait, the things we need aren't here. Oh, this thing's not working. Oh, there's nowhere to plug in power here. So many different things were going on during that setup, and it was a headache and a half. So by the time we got around to actually playing, I was so overwhelmingly frustrated that I had to spend the rest of our actual set fighting off the negativity that had kind of welled up inside of me. And looking back at some of the footage that was caught during our set, I found myself really being able to notice like, oh, that was a key moment there when I was fighting off the negativity. I know that I've always struggled with a certain amount of perfectionism, and that perfectionism, while at sometimes it can feel like it helps you deliver at a high level and to guard the quality of your work, there's certain instances, especially in an environment where you have to be spontaneous, where you have to be genuine, where you have to interact with people, where perfectionism can actually sabotage you hard and like directly and immediately, where perfectionism actually ruins and makes your product more imperfect. And so what I want to do with this video is just kind of actually, most of this will be me showing you the footage from that night. And I'm going to talk you through some of the instances where I was just like at the breaking point, or maybe I can highlight for you the things that were going wrong because things kept going wrong over the course of the night. I'll highlight for you maybe some of the things that are happening like that you might not realize if you weren't there, but just kind of give you an insight into what it looks like to try to fight your way through a really negative experience or a really disappointing experience. Essentially talking about what it means to find a way to spin things positive when everything in the moment seems like it's going wrong. So let's check out that footage.
So we get to the vocal part of soundcheck and Brett starts dropping jokes.
Hey, I have an American friend that does my sound. I also have a check 1, 2. I have a check 1, 2.
What an amazing joke. Meanwhile, when it comes turn for me to check my mic, the frustration and the irritation that I'm feeling already starts to spill out.
I regret this morning a second time. I regret earlier the afternoon. I regret before noon.
This is the voice in your head.
So the negativity that I'm feeling is really coming out, and you can see that, I think, pretty clearly. When it finally comes time for us to start playing, I'm still fighting off the negativity, which you can hear here.
Good evening, everyone. Some technical difficulties, but we're finally ready to start. Hope you'll bear with us as we try to redeem this set. Thank you all for coming. It says to almost team, most of you, come closer where don't bite. That's it.
It's a mix of me feeling good about things, but also you can hear me saying I already feel like the set has to be redeemed, right? So it's not a great headspace. We start to have problems even on the first song. So right here you're seeing Alex, a guy from one of the other bands, going over to check the bass amp because little does he know, Brett's pedals are actually turning up his volume. So he's trying to compensate for the fact that the bass amp is drowning out the rest of the band. Also, the bass amp is behind me and my amp is behind Brett, so they're crisscrossed, and that's going to become a problem later. So you're seeing the seeds of things going wrong. Right here after the chorus, I'm actually supposed to continue singing right into the first verse. But something was unplugged on my board. So I had to stop singing and talk to the audience to cover the fact that I was supposed to be singing there. Right here in this part, I wasn't sure if my guitar was even making sound, so I had to play a random thing. That's not in the song, I wasn't supposed to do that, but I was not sure if I was even making sound at all. This next part upset me more because I basically flubbed this solo. It didn't come out very good. Yikes. Yeah, so much of that I did not do properly. Bass guitar volume creep is back, you can hear it here. So the guys from the other bands are trying to fix our mix and bring that bass guitar down, but it keeps coming up. Hence why I also can't hear my own guitar. I normally do headbang a lot during our performances, but here it's not just performance. I'm actually frustrated and trying to get some of the tension out, which is why I'm going harder than I might normally. So right here in this part, I'm supposed to be playing a lead guitar line, and for some reason, it's not coming through. So you can already tell I'm looking confused. I'm not sure why I can't hear my guitar. Again, something came unplugged on my board, so I have to go fix it. And there was me starting the verse a couple notes late. So I had to compensate. Again, this is making me all the more frustrated. Here's the lead line. So that's what I was supposed to play at the intro of the song when I couldn't hear myself. Wrong note, and I'm getting more frustrated. Here's the moment of truth that breaks the song for me. Watch real close as Brett goes back to adjust his own amp now, and if you look at the speaker cabinet right below him, boom, there goes my amp. My amp head just fell off and came unplugged. So I'm chugging the guitar right there, but no sound is coming out because my amp is completely unplugged. So Jericho is soloing. I'm trying to figure out where's my sound gone again for like the third time in this song. There goes Gabriel. He's the singer for an awesome band called Afterwake, and he tries to get my stuff set up again. I notice that he's there, so I thank him for helping out, but it's not his amp, right? So he doesn't know what's working and what's not. I try to play the song and sing my part, but I'm still not actually making any sound, so I'm gonna have to go over there in a second and fix it myself because he didn't quite get it. So this is still the last chorus of the song, and I've just given up on performing. I'm like, I'm gonna go fix the amp and not play my... Yep, see, not even playing, going to make sure everything works.
Thank you.
I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm just like, I'm over it at this point. I've basically given up on the show. And this is Richard coming over to tell Brett, like, hey, like, be careful with your amp. You keep turning it up too loud, and we keep having to turn it down. So just watch your volume. And yeah, this is just like, to me, this is a mess. Here, some of my frustration begins to really show itself, and these screams go like 10 times harder than they do on the record. Like, I'm just really letting loose there because I'm actually trying to get the frustration out of my system. This solo isn't as bad as it could be, but I'm literally actually shaking with anger, so I play a bunch of wrong notes. Wrong. 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 Yeah, I'm just like, oh man, I'm so fed up at this point. The soft part just happened. I've calmed down a bit. Let me try to redeem the show.
How y'all doing out there? I want to see a little uptick in the energy just now, if you know what I'm saying.
Let's see it.
I'm saying scorched, tortured into shape. With every strike the hammer makes, a living weapon, loath to fate.
And here I'm about to go absolutely feral, just like unhinged, like completely, I mean, you can see what's happening. And again, I'm overdoing the screams. Just absolutely unleashing everything I'm feeling right now. Yep, those headbangs were sincere. The thing that's really interesting about this song, though, the song's called Steel, and it literally is about perseverance and the fact that, like, struggles in life can make you stronger if you let them. Kind of a cliche topic, but I'm literally saying here... So in some ways, I'm kind of speaking to myself, and I think I realized that while I was saying these lines, that I was like, okay, yeah, it's frustrating, but you gotta kind of fight through it, and this is where I get a little bit of a kick to fight my way through the rest of the song. So just when I've purposed to try to make the best of a situation, something else goes wrong. We're supposed to go right into the start of a next song here, but the problem is our drummer is playing to our backing track. We've got, like, you know, background vocals and sound effects and extra stuff being played by the computer, but he was having an issue with his headphone jack where it would cut out if he moved and he would lose signal in one ear, so he couldn't hear what was going on or, like, keep in time. So we had to literally stop the song after it started and restart, which is, like, the worst, and I hate it so much. So I'm there trying to fix the backing track, and we're gonna restart the song, and I'm about to try to explain to the audience something or say something to cope for the fact that this is going so wrong.
Anything goes right tonight, it's that you all came here. Thank you so much.
So I'm saying, if anything goes right tonight, and I didn't have anything planned after that, and it could have been, like, the most negative thing in the world, and I could have just been, like, poo-poo on our whole set, and at the last moment, I was like, let me just thank them for being here, and that'll be something positive. So in that fraction of a second, I had to either choose to be, like, an absolute downer or try to find a positive way to spin it. And I'm thankful that I've had enough experience now, like, trying to work a crowd, try to, you know, dialogue with an audience, to not just be a total downer, because, you know, that would have been a disservice to myself. But man, I was so frustrated. Insurmountable frustrations meet traumatic brain injury. Listen here to the difference between my failed attempt at positivity and just general negative attitude and the crowd's very positive response.
Feels awesome to be back. I'm sorry that we started so much later than planned. You know, I don't know, if you need us to whatever.
But we transitioned to a bit of a lighter song, and that gave me the chance to calm down a bit, and I'll explain to you why and how that worked in a second. I'm not saying that, like, the heavier music inherently makes me angry, but this song gave me an opportunity to do something that was helpful for me. As an artist, it's so important to connect to your reason for doing things, connect to your sense of purpose, connect to, like, why you love what you do. And for me, I love singing. Singing is just so healing for me. And this song gave me a moment where I could just, like, stop playing guitar, focus on connecting to my own voice, and really sing from the heart. And that really rejuvenated me. I like how I sound here. And that's something I really needed for myself, because you're about to hear us come back to the headphones cutting out problem. If you can't tell, we're going a little off time. Ooh, that is frustrating. But I'm singing my heart out. And if at first you can't fix your headspace, try again.
I wasn't kidding about the dancing part, you guys. This is your second chance in this song. You gotta take it for what it is. You ready? I don't think you're ready.
Play that guitar, Max. Let it out.
3, 2, 1, here we go.
That felt good. Sometimes when things are just not going your way, you have to choose to have fun even if you're not having fun. kind of like this. You just go for it. Ready to hear us start the song too fast? Here we go. And Jared is going to try to get us back on track. Oh, we're off. That's just like, that's a really rough start to the song, and that's like our biggest song. That's our hit. That's the song with a lot of Spotify plays. And we janked up the start. This next part also reminded me that there's this weird kind of touch point between resignation and relaxation. Like, I'm just holding an open chord here, so I'm drinking water, play the open chord with one hand and continue drinking my water, throw the water bottle away. That's frustration, resignation. But I was also ready for the part because I was just like not thinking about what I was doing anymore and just letting it flow naturally. So in a weird way, being resigned and being like, oh, whatever happens, happens, made the rest of it work out for me. And of course, if things are still going wrong, there's always the option of, again, overdoing the screams, holding them longer, and doing more pitch bends than on the record. Yep. I'm fighting for my life right here because the vocal part and the guitar part are very different rhythmically, so I'm trying my hardest, and I push through, but then we're about to go off time because our drummer's going to stop hearing the track again. His headphones are going to cut out. Ah. Oh, so off. And he's trying really hard. He's really trying to get us back on track, but we end up, at this point, we're like way, way off of the backing track now. Like, we're not on beat anymore. We've rushed ahead. And yeah, Jared is trying his darndest, but he's the only one who's hearing the backing track. The rest of us are only getting it in the monitors. He's the only one getting direct in-ear monitoring. So we play out the rest of the song like totally off time from the rest of the backing music. Yeah. So that did not end as cleanly as I would have liked it, and I'm just kind of, again, like, ugh, whatever. Now, sometimes you have to learn how to make fun of yourself when things aren't going great, and one of the things that happens to me a lot because of how long my hair is and how much headbanging I do is my hair gets in my mouth a lot, and I'll have to take it out while I'm trying to sing. Yep, that's just how it goes sometimes. I love playing this song though. I love singing this song. I feel like my voice sounds good here. A little bit of guitar redemption there too. Also, because our environment is so loud, my tuner pedal wasn't really working very well, so I had to tune out loud. That's not what I'm supposed to play, but my G string was out of tune, and so I just started spamming that string, trying to tune out loud while playing the song. And there I go, flicking my hair again. Look at that. I'm hopeless, man. So here I am complaining about my hair, and Pamela, one of the co-hosts of the event, walks up to me and offers me a hair clip right here. I denied it because what am I going to do, like stop singing to put in a hair clip? Like, no, I'll just deal with it. But thank you, that was very kind. I don't want to give the wrong impression though. We're a great band. I believe that wholeheartedly, and when things aren't going wrong, I think we sound really good. Listen to my voice here. Like, we're really firing on all cylinders there. My sweep on the guitar worked there. Our drummer, Jared, that fill was awesome. Like, I think we're really kicking some butt right here. So it's not all bad, and I have to remind myself to pay attention to what goes right as well. And it's time for me to redeem myself as a guitarist and have some guitar solo redemption. This is my favorite solo. Not exactly perfect, but acceptable. Sometimes you have to not take things too seriously, be able to do something goofy, and, in moments like that, transitions do work, like this one. This is a great moment right here.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
Everyone loved that.
Give it up yourselves.
After we did the Pokemon theme song, we ended the night with one more cover of All My Life by Foo Fighters. And I think the audience reaction speaks for itself.
Thank you, we're Kozen. Have a great night.
That's genuine appreciation right there. Like, it's... For however many things went wrong, it was still so much fun, and we had a good time, and people appreciated us. And that's really what matters at the end of the day, is that you push through the frustration and do what brings you joy, and what brings joy to other people.
Give it up again for Kozen, guys. How about it? Always bringing the fun covers at the end.
We had played this show the previous year, I think I might have mentioned that, but we did do a cover of Linkin Park's One Step Closer, and also we mashed up Master of Puppets by Metallica with the infamous Backstreet's Back song by the Backstreet Boys, and yeah, that mashup was crazy. We just like to have fun.
I almost forgot. I have a tip jar for the bands.
So you can look at this now as we tear down. I think the level of tension that I was feeling while setting up is totally gone, and there's just a sense of camaraderie and just community with all these other people, musicians, the other bands, the people attending the party, the people that came along with us, our friends who came to support. You're about to see Kyla here. She's the best, just like one of our longtime supporters.
What's up?
You get to just...
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, of course. We gotta turn off the
You're supposed
recording.
Okay.
Oh, no, we don't have to turn it off. You were asking me something?
I was just saying you have to say something before you turn it off.
Oh, right, yes. That's the show. Hiccups and all. But we kept going, I guess, so that's what you gotta do.
It was fine.
That's the learning experience.
And there it is. Those were my lessons learned over the course of the show that went so wrong until it didn't. I think when I finally let go of the need for everything to go perfectly, when I let go of the fact that the person getting the most irritated about how long things were taking or how many things were going wrong was me and nobody else. And once I could come to terms with that, I let myself have fun. And when it came down to actually just having fun, enjoying my craft, enjoying the gift that it is to make music with my buddies, it was perfect. And I look back fondly on this show as a great experience, something that brought the band together, something that gave us an opportunity to do some fun things, and ultimately something that I'm proud of. Again, it's those little perspective shifts that make all the difference. And I hope that for whoever you are watching this, you can go into the situations you face, whether it be your work, your hobbies, your artistic pursuits, your creativity, your relationships, whatever it happens to be. If you find that there are things that are going wrong all around you, and it's just this constant source of frustration, ask yourself if maybe what you need is just a perspective shift, and if maybe the person who's getting the most irritated is just you, and that's completely in your hands. Because it is. Anyways, thank you for checking out this video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do. There's going to be all kinds of fun content coming from all of the creators. On my band's channel, I'm going to be showcasing some of the highlights of the show and kind of like the best moments. And also, I think I'm going to do like a rehearsal vlog as well. And yeah, that's all I've got for you for today.